Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to introduce to you Gertie Heck from Idaho. And this is my first time meeting you. I'm so excited to meet you. So thank you
Oh,
for joining.
you and me both.
You had a healing reading. So when your son came through, I could hear the conversation the two of you were saying. And so I heard what he was saying, and I also heard what you were saying. Do you want to describe that?
I was laying there and I opened my eyes and I just started crying. And I said, "Forgive me for not saving you." And that lifted such a weight off me I didn't know I was carrying. But now looking back, I'm thinking, well, that had to happen prior to the healing in order for the healing to actually happen. I had to have that weight lifted.
Mhm.
And then I thanked him, which amazed me that you said the same words that I did, thanking him for being a part of my life while he was here. And yeah, that just kind of blew me out of the water.
And I heard you say,
Yeah,
please forgive me.
heard it on the video that you sent me. And then he left, said it was time for you, Mom. And you said that too.
Yeah, it was interesting because I knew I had this feeling like you were just waiting for him. And he kept telling me, like, she's gonna need to know I'm here. And then she'll let go. And then then I can come back. But he wanted you to relax, to receive, and you couldn't have done that without that connection first. And then we went into different areas of your body. So do you want to describe some of the things that were said to you that you resonated with?
Um, my neck, I mean, from here to here, I had whiplash when I was young. I'd gone to a chiropractor for a long time, and he finally said he couldn't do anything with it anymore. He couldn't even get it to move. And so he told me to go to a masseuse. So I've been going to one every other week for eons. I don't even know how long now. And it gets so tight from my shoulder blade. It even hurts up here because it pulls. And forever, this is, every 2 weeks I go. And you pinpointed that completely. In fact, when it happened, I was 8 and my mom didn't take me to the doctor. And I remember standing up saying, I want to sleep like a horse, because laying in bed, I would have to pull my head up in order to get out of bed. So when Mom came through, you said my mom was there. And I had said before our session that, hey, Mom, this is your chance, because she's always felt guilty for not taking me to the doctor. I haven't had, very little compared to what has been. I went to my masseuse and she said, oh my gosh, you're going to have a normal neck one of these days. It's gotten so much better. And I also go to a kinesiologist who worked on my shoulder blade. And she said, wow, that's a lot better. And I hadn't even told her that I had the healing session with you yet.
That's amazing. So you had documentation that this really helped you.
Yeah.
And how does it feel today?
Today I feel fine. I haven't had pain in my neck to the degree.
I love how you talked to your mom prior. And then she shows up for it. It's like, I heard you.
Like, Mom, you got a chance now to finally fix this. Well, I hated that she always felt guilty about it too.
You mentioned you had sinus issues too. Was that right before the session?
Yeah, starting right before the session. And right off the bat, you had phlegm and you're like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I was getting a sinus. I noticed my tooth hurt. And that usually is a sign for me with sinus, just that one tooth. And yeah, it just gone.
And then at one point, we went on a spiritual journey. And your son said, let's go to this space. And he created a space for you which I believe you already knew, and that was your space without me even knowing that. Can you explain that?
When I meditate, I will walk down a path to a bench. And you talked about that bench without knowing that that's where I go.
You described that you felt like you were having an out of body experience.
That was, I've never had that happen before, but all of a sudden it felt like my body was really heavy and I started floating up above my body. I'm surprised the blanket didn't move because I thought, oh, this is, and I just, not very far above, I would say about 3 feet, but that's where I went and I was there for a while. I was like, gosh, I'm wondering if I'm having an out of body experience. That was my thought. And then you mentioned it.
You were able to disconnect from your body, having that spiritual journey, and at the same time, allowing your body to be healed so that you didn't have to feel it. I love the fact that you felt that you were having an out of body experience.
Yeah, it was awesome. I want to do that more.
When you had this meeting with your son and he comes to you and says, let's take this walk, can you describe what you were seeing?
I visually saw him in my mind.
So I remember him kind of holding your arm, like walking, holding your hand and arm. And when you got to the bench, do you remember any physical touch?
Yeah, he held me. I held him.
What did that feel like?
Like I didn't want to let him go.
What a gift, right?
It is. Like I said, I didn't know I was carrying that guilt. And for him to come and show me, this is what you're holding on to, Mom. And I mean, when I opened my eyes and started crying and the words just poured out.
And that's amazing because you heard it at the same time I heard it. Yeah. And so I'm hearing the words, you're hearing the words, we're in different states.
I know.
We were really connected through this entire session. And step by step, me hearing you, me hearing him, and it's all aligned. And then when you listen to it, you're like, you had to be like, what?
I know. It's like, wow, how do you do this from Arizona? I'm just amazed.
There's one other thing that came through. We were told to cross our hands. Go ahead, you tell it.
I just did this while in the session laying on my bed. All of a sudden I felt a pull to go to my heart. I don't know why I did. But then I listened later. So you said that Spirit was saying to put my hands. And then you actually said, hold on to the shirt. It's your son's shirt, which it was. And you had no idea.
I do remember saying, hang on to the shirt, but the fact that you did have his shirt on. Wow.
I am open to other things than doctors and hospitals. For me, it was worth taking the time to do this because I do believe you not only need to be better physically, but there's the emotional and the spiritual also. I am so thankful that this neck thing is gone. I've lived with this my whole life and I paint. So, going looking up and painting ceilings, yeah, it caused me a lot of problems. I would get so bad that I couldn't move my neck. So for that to be the way it is right now, as my lady said, you may have a normal neck after all. And I was like, wow.
So thank you, Gertie, for such a beautiful testimonial to share with everybody about what a reading and healing combined really means. I thank you, I thank your son, and I thank you for this time. And I just want to thank everybody else that's listening. Thank you, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Bye for now.